Hello, hello. So it's a Sunday and it's nice outside, and I thought, do you know what would be a great thing to do? Let's stay indoors and do some of these little things that I've been meaning to do for a while. Tick them off the list. So there's nothing specific I'm going to be going over in this video, just a few things that I thought I'd document as I went through it. First thing is to rehouse my Lasius flavus ants. So in a previous video I took my ants out of hibernation. There was some that I put in a proper formicarium, which was my Formica fusca colony, and then we had loads of other ones that were left over in test tubes that look a bit like this. And there was about 10 colonies, and I really don't need 10 different types of ants. I mean, they're not all different types. They were Lasius flavus, Lasius niger and Formica fusca. Various ones I had just to see if there was any ones that didn't make it through the winter. I'd still have some left over, but now I've got too many. So some of them I've actually let back outside now. I just kind of put the test tube in the garden in a secluded area so they can then move out on their own. But I did want to keep some Lasius flavus because I've got my Lasius niger colony, I've got the Formica fusca colony, and now I want a Lasius flavus colony. Now there's two here that are looking quite semi-successful. They've got a lot of, well, I say a lot, they've got about 10 workers and they've got some eggs, so I thought, well, I'll rehouse these guys into something new. Then next year, if the population's still growing, I can make them something a bit more long term. So all we're looking at are these two containers that I got from eBay, I think, and I've drilled a hole in the side, and all I'm going to do is fill it with substrate, which I've already done, and then I've got these little connector tubes which I made. These are just the top of the test tube with a hole bored out and then a bit of tubing put in to give them a way to come into their little outworld, and this should be enough for them then to live successfully for a while at least. And it gives us easier access when we want to feed them or give them any nutrients as well, because I can just put it straight into this outworld rather than trying to undo the test tube and navigate around ants that are trying to escape. The water's getting a little bit low in these as well, in the test tubes, which is another reason that they might want to have this outworld, because then I can keep that area moist as well, just in case they do want to take any hydration from the soil itself. But that's all we need, and that is that task done. The only thing I will mention is this has got little holes in the top, and I did cover it with micropore tape, but I've seen them chew through that before and then start getting out on other species I've kept, so it's just important to keep an eye on that. Ideally I'd have something with not with holes that aren't quite as big, but needs must, and this is all I have at the moment, so it should be fine as long as I just keep an eye on it just to make sure there isn't anyone getting out. Right, that's the first thing done. Next thing I'd like to do is just double check in my Pachnoda marginata enclosure, because this is where I was keeping my sun beetle grubs. I think I've had about 3 hatch out. There was around 5 grubs when I first started, but that was a long time ago since I put them in here, so I'm pretty sure they've all came out now if they're going to. But before I do dispose of anything, I did just want to double check. As you can see, there's a lot of the little husks left behind from their cocoons where the larvae have turned into the beetle. And I think, well, I mean, there's 3 here. Oh, there we go. We can see actually. So this guy's, I don't know. I thought he's been unsuccessful. But maybe that's, I don't know what that is. I mean, that looks like the husk of the larvae actually, doesn't it? So I think that's when he actually hatched out. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all out now, but I do just want to check. And there's so many Springtails in here, I don't know what to do with them either. Yep, nothing left in there. So what I'd like to do is we'll keep this soil just because there's so many Springtails in there. And I think I'll use that soil on the next enclosure that I make. I just feel bad. I don't want to just chuck them away. You're not really supposed to let them out in the wild anyway. So yeah, we'll keep them for now. And I do want to use this for something as well, so I'm just going to give it a quick rinse. Okay, so I wanted to make this into a little new springtail enclosure. At the moment I keep them in here, just because it's what I had at the time and it's just full of dirt. But I've seen numerous people do it this way and it just seems easier and more logical. And that's to keep them in something with just water and charcoal, and that's it. I mean, you obviously put stuff in there to keep them fed, but I don't like them being in dirt because you just can't get them out to put in new enclosures. So I think I will move some charcoal in here for them to live on, and then I'll recycle the dirt just to get any that are left behind as well. So there's loads on there. They seem to live just fine on water. I think they're obviously so small they don't break the surface tension, so they can literally just kind of hop around on the water surface anyway. And they seem to congregate around it. A lot of my enclosures that I've got water bowls in, they tend to just be on top of the water. They really like a moist environment. So they hopefully will be okay in here and just thrive naturally. And it'll be easier this way as well for me to just pick up a bit of charcoal and put in the enclosure, or brush it off or whatever, or just tip the water into the enclosure that will have springtails in it. I can see them now, they're just running around on the water surface like it's nothing. Just ice skating about. I don't have enough charcoal in there, so I'm just going to grab some more. I think ideally this would be a bit bigger just to stop them jumping out, but that should be fine. Next up is sorting out my tarantula enclosure, because she's burrowed and done a lot of excavating on the underside of the tank, brought all the dirt up to the top and then dumped it on her water bowl. And we need her to be able to get to her water bowl, so I'm going to clear some of this area out, and I'll just show you as well. So as you can see there, she's kind of dug out all of this underside here. And it kind of goes back a little here too, which is fine. That's good that she's got that space to have to herself, but I still need to be able to see that she can get to her water bowl, so we'll try and move that out. My only worry with this is I know what she's like, and she'll probably come darting out as soon as I start moving stuff around in the front of her enclosure. And it's certainly going to be interesting because, like I've said before, it always makes me jump when they come running out. So I'm hoping we can avoid that. In fact, what I might do is just give her a dubia. I'm all for her making this home her own, but I do worry if she can't get to her water bowl. Right, let's see if we can get her to eat. I'm going to drop this in her burrow. So as you can hopefully see, just at above the middle of the screen, there's the dubia resting on the bit of bark. I kind of feel like as soon as she feels him moving, she's going to go for it. Come on, little dubia, just take a few more steps. He's kind of slowly edging forwards. Oh my God, she's going to go for him, surely. He's like a millimetre away. This is the bravest roach ever. Whoa, okay, that done it. Jesus. Just so rapid. That even made me jump, seeing that. Her reactions are just so quick. Right, don't mind me, I'm just gonna rearrange your enclosure. Now this is probably overkill, but I am going to wear gloves while I'm moving this dirt around, because I have seen recently a lot about urticating hares and how dangerous they can be. I want to try and encourage her to burrow in this area rather than right at the back. She'd done that in the first enclosure and that was cool, because then I could put her prey outside and get some really nice shots of her taking the prey. Okay, let's clean her water bowl out, pop it back in, and that should be done. At least she got a little snack out of it. So the last thing I wanted to go over is this handsome little guy. Idolomantis, diabolica, devil's flower mantis. Now I kept going on about how, oh, he's on his last molt, I hope he makes it, I hope he's okay, but he actually molted and it's not his last molt. I would assume that he's got one more to go, but I keep saying that and he keeps proving me wrong. So he's now looking really big though. What a cool looking guy. Look at the size of him. I don't know, I honestly don't know how people get, not that I want to, but I don't know how people get them to do their threat poses, because he was a pain to get out just now and he wasn't showing any signs of, you know, aggression or showing off his dramatic display. As you can see though, those raptors are so cool on the inside, so vivid. I absolutely love these species. I mean, they're hard to look after, but wow, they're just so impressive to look at. He's definitely keeping an eye on me. Genuinely just looks like an origami piece, like someone's just folded up a bit of paper. And this guy is now being kept still in higher humidity. It seems that I ramped up his humidity a bit early, but he went through that molt absolutely fine. He's still got his little bent leg at the back, which you can possibly see, but it doesn't cause him any problems. He still lives absolutely fine. He gets around okay. Eats voraciously, which is good, as they're known for being for having a large appetite. They're just so ungainly. I don't know how they've managed to survive as long as they have, because they're just not very agile little things. But yeah, you can see his little back leg there. His little back leg is still all bent, but he can still use it. And that was from one of his earlier molts. Absolutely love this species though. It's worth the hassle. So amazing. So that's everything I've got for you today. I know it wasn't anything specific that we went through. I just thought it'd be cool to kind of talk through some day-to-day stuff. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're still staying safe. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to check this video out, and I'll see you on the next one. Ooh.